Why don't we do that? We'll start with Tom Barrasso, who has been on fire for the Penguins. He is 8-0-2 in his last 10. And Mike Richter, who has been inconsistent by his coach's standards. Colin Campbell said that the whole team has been somewhat inconsistent, but their record is 11-7-2. So I guess we shouldn't be unimpressed with the Rangers at this point.
Rob Schick. The referee, Ron Asselstein, and Mark Paris will be the two linesmen here tonight. And the Penguins move left to right to begin this contest as we get underway here at the Garden in New York. Penguins won here last year late in the season against the Rangers. And underway, and Yager of Pittsburgh deflects it up the left side. It will come up to the Ranger zone down the left wing. Here's Smolinski trying to pull the trigger. He does, and a good stop there by Richter to begin the game. The ice is very fresh, and it's taken some weird bounces in the warm-up we watched. Neither club was able to skate here today because of the surface being just put down. Ian Moran of the Penguins had it chopped away, and it comes to center. Smolinski's going to gun it back, stopped by Bruce Driver. Driver of the Rangers. Wheeling out to center ice. The Penguins trying to stop it there. Goes onto the Penguins line. Smolinski to Ron Francis here to the near side to Chris Taber. The big Penguin defenseman whack it back in behind the Ranger goal. Richter will stop it. And Ulf Samuelsson goes to corral. He'll be wearing a familiar number to Penguin fans. Number 5 in a Ranger uniform. Right side to Driver. Now to come. Ahead now to the right wing of the Penguin zone. Graves giving chase against Moranov. Graves won that battle. Graves looking for Messier in front of that. One arms it around. Good play by Graves. Left point to Leach. A big booming shot. And Barrasso kicked that away. Late pass to Lemieux behind the defense. Behind Leach on a breakaway. Here he comes in on goal. A shot. Stopped by Richter. Well, Lemieux got behind the defense, but a good stop by Richter on Mario Lemieux early in the game. Lemieux showing a great burst of speed. A blow by Brian Leach, and that's no easy chore with the speed that Leach has. Here's Barrasso dumping off the boards. There aren't many players in this league that'll walk away from Brian Leach. Lemieux did that in front of the Penguins in. Knocked aside. Here's Messier with it. Messier matched up against the Penguins. Lemieux. Messier giving the puck to Graves. Shooting, scoring. Adam Graves right over the shoulder. Might have been deflected off McIver. But the Rangers strike first, and they lead 1-0. I have a feeling that may have hit something, Paul.
Well, Adam Graves has been waiting quite some time to get that next goal. He hadn't scored in his last 6 games. He picked a good time to find the net after Lemieux was stopped by Richter. Graves gets the first one to make it 1-0. Here's Lemieux getting ready to take this lead pass. And away he went. He had that play in mind, and he was flying, too. He looked so strong going up ice and so big. He tried to go to the 5-hole. Richter dropped to his knees to make the save. You may remember Lemieux was stopped on a breakaway the other night, too, by Jim Carey. And Lemieux would like to get his game going in the first periods of games a little bit more, and that's one of the reasons why he wants to play back-to-back games. He hasn't felt that he's had the jump early in hockey games when he's been taking so many days off between games. Adam Graves finding the net behind Barrasso over the shoulder.
Graves 9th of the year, and I think it went off McIver's stick. I think it went off his stick and bounced by Barrasso. So the Rangers get the opening goal. A whole lot of games the Penguins haven't had the opening goal in. Here's Richard Park streaking down the right wing. He puts it on the net, and that's Richter making the save. Reaches out for the rebound and now sweeps it to the near board. Park looking for Glenn Murray. Murray on the right wing and Dave Roche on the left side for the Penguins, and the Penguins trail 1-0 here early in New York. Kevin Lowe, far wing. Breaking it back behind his own net. Doug Lutster. Lutster sails it up the right side, and here come the Rangers. On the move, Ray Ferraro has Robitaille. Robitaille back to Ferraro. Look out, he got a step on Murray, but Murray just got enough of the stick down to deflect it. Ulf Samuelsson bank it down to the near corner. They put it behind the net. Robitaille with a good little move. Comes out on Francis, trying to slow him down. Goes to Ulf Samuelsson, who snaps one off, and that's Barrasso stopping that shot. Francois Leroux of the Penguins up on the play. Guns it back to center circle, and the Rangers have it again. Jam into the Penguin zone. 1-0 New York. First period. Adam Graves, the goal scorer. For Jaromir Jagr. Stretching behind his own goal. Lost the puck. Sundstrom, the rookie. Put a move on him, but the Penguins do get it. Can they clear? They got it outside the line, and it goes back in, and we get a stop and play.
Mike, we were led to believe that Ulf Samuelsson and his partner Driver would be matched up tonight against Mario Lemieux's line, but that has not been the case. He was on the ice to start the game against the Ron Francis line, and he came out here to play against them in their second shift. So it would appear as though they're going to go with Ulfie against Ronnie Francis for the rest of the night. And there's Adam Graves, who finally found the net. Mark Messier got an assist, as did Alexei Kovalev on that goal at 1:34.
It's
funny the way the game goes sometimes. We got a long way to go, but Lemieux misses on the breakaway, which is a rarity for him. And you mentioned against Carey too. He usually is deadly on that, about 90%, if not more. And Richter stopped him, and the Rangers come right back and get the opening goal. Smolinski deal it to the near boards of the Rangers zone. And off Samuelson trying to get away from good friend Ron Francis. Francis got the pressure on, but the pass comes out to Yager. Slap shot. He shoots and scores. Yager buries it. We are tied at 1. Oh, get in the fast lane, Grandma. The bingo game is ready to roll. Yager intercepted a clearing pass, and he guns it in. The Penguins have tied it.
Well, Jaromir Jagr takes the lead on the hockey club in terms of even strength goals with his 9th in that department, his 18th of the year, just stepping out into the slot, cranking it up, and just blowing it right by Richter in a perfect place. A great placement by Jagr there. A very difficult place to make a save for a goaltender. Right under the stick. What's he supposed to do? He almost has to wave that stick through the air and deflect that shot out of there, and Richter could not do that. Under a stick, over the pad, into the net.
It'll be interesting to see if Francis gets an assist on this, whether he was the man that made the pass back to Jagr or a Ranger tried to clear the zone. Unassisted. It was a Ranger player that last touched the puck trying to clear it, and Jagr picked it up. It was good checking by Francis that made the play on his good friend Rolf Samuelson. Now, I think that may have come off that off Samuelson's stick and trying to clear it out, and they couldn't do it. Kovalev and a 1-1 tie. Wristed down in behind the Penguin goal, and the Rangers go after it. This is Graves, who has the only Ranger tally. He's pressured by Mironov. Lemieux reaches in for the Penguins, working his own end, but the Rangers keep the pressure on. Mark Messier enjoying a good year. Kovalev off the right side, turning to shoot it. That's blocked. Now Messier centers, and it went off Barasso's stick. Grabbed by Lemieux. Look at that little move. Up ahead to center to Marcus Naslund. Naslund 2-on-2 to the Rangers in. A wrist shot, and that sails wide of the net. Thomas Sandstrom of the fence. Around to the far left wing corner. After it'll be Lemieux. It's it left side to Naslund. He has a lot of room. They let him go. Naslund moves into the slot. Now try to backdoor it in front. Lemieux's trying to tee it up. He can't. Shot by Sandstrom. That's stopped by Richter. Sandstrom getting the opportunity. Well, that all started when the Rangers let Naslund go. And he walked right into the slot and then fed it back in between the circles close to goaltender Mike Richter. In the first period here in New York. Already we've had a couple of goals. We're tied at 1 here on Prime Sports.
Well, he just missed it on the TV side, but take my word for it. When Mark Messier went over to bump Lemieux, it was like he bumped into a brick wall. He just bounced off of him, and then he picks up a holding penalty. He had the stick between Lemieux's legs. I didn't really see him holding him, but he picks up a holding penalty at 4:31.
And the Ranger penalty killing, trying to clear it away to the Penguin zone. They negated here. I'm not sure if it hit somebody on the Ranger bench to stop the play. I think that is the case. Going to bring the face-off inside of the Ranger blue line. Pittsburgh's power play, number 1 overall, 37.8%. The Ranger penalty killing, 81.8. They are 17th in penalty killing.
Colin Campbell worked on special teams almost exclusively yesterday in practice after his team was really putrid in their last game against Winnipeg, allowing 3 power play goals, going 0 for 4 on the power play themselves. So he worked extremely hard on the special teams, and also realizing that Pittsburgh, outstanding on special teams, was coming to town. Linda Bump from Pittsburgh, our contestant on the American Airlines power play contest.
Kuyver and Francis play the points, and they'll have Jagr, Sandstrom, and Lemieux up front. Both Lemieux and Jagr lead the Penguins in power play goals with 8. Here's a pass to Jagr, cutting in. He has Lemieux open. He couldn't quite get it through, and a good play by Lowe to put his body down to block that attempted pass. But had Jagr gotten that through, Lemieux was wide open.
Kevin Lowe has done a good job for the Rangers this year. He's getting up there in years, 36 years old, but he's a +10. And out here in an important role trying to kill this penalty. And he blocked that centering pass nicely, just dropping to the ice. Lemieux was wide open cutting in. Jagr knew it too. So was Sandstrom cruising in, but I think that pass was intended for just about anybody who could come up with it. And Lowe ended up coming up with it.
Francis to handle the draw for the Penguins against Sergei Nemchinov. Graves and Nemchinov, the penalty killers, to the right of goaltender Richter. And here we go. Nemchinov won it, and Richter spins it back behind the net to Brian Leach. Good play by McIver to keep the puck in. And he shoots it down to the near corner. Big Jeff Pukaboom, the Ranger defenseman. Wielded by McIver this time, and Norm comes chasing back for it. He tried a cross-rink pass. That's broken up. Graves with a good job, and he takes McIver halfway to the board. With good play by Graves to put the pressure on. Penguins looking for the puck. Nemchinov and Graves keeping it in the Penguin zone. Now it squirts free, and Francis directs it up the right wing to Thomas Sandstrom, the former Ranger. Lemieux gets the puck perfectly to Jagr. Jagr, though, lost possession, and the Rangers steer it back into Penguin real estate.
One of the things Colin Campbell really stressed in talking about how to deal with the Penguins' power plays is we've got to get the puck the length of the ice. We've got to get it all the way down to the other end. It kills off a lot more time and makes them go a lot further back to get it.
And most teams this year have not been able to do that against the Penguins. They have really been dominant in the other team's end. In this particular situation, they've had to go back, what, 3 times already. Here's the pass to the right wing to Ron Francis, giving the puck to Lemieux. Francis trying to zigzag in, but Smolinski's offside. He gives the puck to Moranov. He is hit by Ulf Samuelsson. Puck lifted to the corner and low. Works it up, but not out. Now it comes off Moranov and onto center. Francis had a little trouble with it. Look out, a lead pass, diving on the ice. One of the Rangers diving. That was Presley. Goodness. I'd like to see that again. He leaped off the skates.
Let's just say he embellished it, but Rob Schick not like Dan Maruelli in terms of his desire to call both. And so it looks like the Rangers will have a power play when
Moranov is the guilty party for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
When Messier comes back onto the ice.
Now Francis was tired late on that power play.
Yeah, he was, and he almost made the play. He just took his time, and Presley was the guy who broke up the clearing maneuver by Francis and then ended up being hauled down by Moranov.
So they'll be at equal strength for 15 seconds. It's a hooking call against the Penguin defenseman. Game is tied at 1, and the Rangers actually will go to a power play in 15 seconds. They are 16th in the league, but 0 for their last 15. And who's going to handle the draw here? Is this Graves? Yes, he will, against Richard Park. Wells and Park, 2 rookies out. This equal strength situation. Now Park's going to be waived, and Wells has to come on. You got to be careful here now. Wells doesn't have a lot of experience. Wells talking to Moran. Let's see how he fares here. Kovalev will have to handle it for the Rangers, not Graves. In a battle for it, and it comes up right in front. A quick shot. They missed the net. That's what I'm talking about, boys. Sometimes when you're not used to it here on this level, you just kind of get out of position, and the Rangers almost scored. Tamer will leave it for Richard Park. Penalty is over to the Rangers, and they are now on the power play. Messier comes on board. And here's Park, though, shorthanded, going to the Rangers in. He has a little step, and he shoots it off Richter's shoulder. Ryan Leach hauls it in. Leach of the Rangers slows the pace down as he comes on. This should be a very entertaining game. We've got a lot of great skill players on both these 2 clubs. And it should be a heck of a hockey game. Leach to the near side, and Graves back to Leach. Right side, and a quick shot for the net, and Barrasso kicked that away. On the shot by Bruce Driver. Now it's Messier of the New York Rangers. Kovalev takes it from him back to Mark Messier, the Rangers captain. Holds that puck. Dance with it around the near boards. Wells trying to get it out. Penguins would like to get new penalty goes on. A shot from the right side by Kovalev, and he shakes his head. Slams his helmet as he missed the open net. Kovalev on the right side. Alexei Kovalev dance with it. The Penguins trying to get the puck and get it up ice, and they can't do it now. Park has it. He wants to get it up ice and get off the ice, and he does. They must make a big change here wholesale. Leach turning right back to lead the attack, and here's Messier starting quickly back to the near side. So the Rangers might be a little vulnerable here late on this power play. Penguins trying to get new troops, and they have Yager and Francis on. But first of all, they have to get the puck. Kovalev with it, right side to Driver. Driver shoots it, that misfire. This Ranger power play has been on a long time. Left point to Leach. Into the corner, Francois Leroux. Leroux leads it behind the goal, and it's Messier tapping in front. Robitaille can't get it. Joseph ahead to Yager. Can he clear? He does. That takes the heat out of a hot kitchen. The Penguins put 2 more new penalty killers on. 11 seconds to go on the penalty. Rangers' final rush. Wristed behind the Penguin net. So both these clubs, it appears, will be 0 for 1 on the power play.
Penguins have now killed 17 consecutive power plays and 35 of the last 37. They are doing a tremendous job killing penalties.
Robitaille giving chase, going behind the Penguin net. Luke Robitaille stopping, pressured by the Penguin defense. Jammed in the corner, and it worked its way up the board, but not out. Ray Ferraro, good pass for Robitaille in front. Great shot there, and he beats Barrasso, and the Rangers take the lead 2-1. What a pretty play by Luke Robitaille, and an old Penguin killer. Ray Ferraro is the guy that set it up. Boy, he just kills the Penguins. Ferraro, and Robitaille did it all with that great skill we're talking about in front.
Anytime the pass comes from the boards out in front, you get the goaltender moving one way, and Robitaille took it back the other way. It's just a great play by Robitaille. Watch how Barrasso has to move off the post with the pass from Ferraro. So he's moving from right to left. Robitaille gets it, goes back against the grain, and catches Tommy going the wrong way, and just dumps it in on the glove side to make it 2-1.
I think Verbeek might get an assist. Watch this little disc pass there by Ferraro. Beautiful pass. Just got the Penguins thinking something else. And Robitaille put the brakes on, said, "How do you do?" And he gets the goal. Number 8 for Luc Robitaille. 2-1 New York. And Verbeek does get an assist. So does Ferraro. And Robitaille, the goal scorer from in front. It is amazing when those players that you're talking about with the great hands they have can score. We are at New York here at Madison Square Garden. The New York Rangers lead the Penguins 2-1 on Prime Sports.
Well, Thanksgiving weekend has always been huge at the Civic Arena, and I don't expect that it'll be any different this weekend. The Rangers come to town tomorrow night. Tickets available for that one and the game on Saturday night against the Buffalo Sabres. So get your tickets now.
Tickets available tomorrow, but I would call tonight 323-1919 to find out about information. Big game coming up. The Penguins and the Rangers. Here's Glenn Murray shooting the puck to the Rangers net. Stop. Rebound on the Penguins. Richard Park can't find the net. The Rangers throw it up the boards and back down to the Penguin line. This one's got the makings of a 6-5 game, possibly. One way or the other. Held him on the boards and grabbed now by Nick Kypreos of New York. Winds into the Penguins in.
You just see the difference, Mike, too. Right off the bat, you know, the Rangers have guys who can finish. You see Robitaille make a great play in front of him. The Capitals just couldn't buy a goal against Pittsburgh, and they didn't have any goal scorers really to speak of in their lineup. And it's not the case here tonight with the Rangers.
The pass to Yager. He's behind the defense, being hooked and knocked down. There'll be a penalty coming up against the Rangers. The New York Rangers will get the call.
That was smart by Yager. He actually took a dive there. That's the first time I've seen Yarmer ever do that, but it was a smart play because he was being hooked. He has the ability to continue to skate in that situation, but all it would have done was allow Samuelson to catch up with him and skate stride for stride with him. So instead of allowing Alfie to catch up to him by using his stick to pull himself ahead, he decided to take a dive on the ice, and that is just smart play by Jaromir Jagr. It's ridiculous that a guy has to resort to that before a penalty is called, and that might have been the case there. If he had just kept skating, there might not have been a penalty called, but the fact is he was hooked by Ulf Samuelsson, and the Penguins go back to work on a power play.
And I think as you look at it, it probably evens up in the other way because Moranov hooked Presley, and I think Presley went diving to draw the call. And I think in the opposite way, this is what happened here too. I'm not liking that too much. I don't think anybody is.
The league wants to crack down on embellishing penalties. In fact, the GMs were told that.
Bukaboom with a good slam in on Thomas Sandstrom. Now Yager coming over to try and find the puck. Penguins trail 2-1 here in the first period. Left side, it's Francis. Over to Lemieux, deflects it in behind the goal, and Yager is after it. Jaromir Jagr. Now the Penguins get one break because all Samuelson's out of there. Lemieux fires it right in. Richter makes that save. Back to the left point to Francis. Right side to McIver. They challenge, but the pass comes to Yager. Cross rink, and Francis had to go too hard by a stick. Here's all the way to center ice, and going for the puck will be Thomas Sandstrom. They lead it up to McIver. Behind the net, Yager pulls around. Lister comes after him. Lemieux feathers it over to Francis. Back now behind the cage. Leak should be able to get it and should be able to clear. He does. It's all the way to the right of the Penguin goal. A minute 5 to go on the Pittsburgh power play. Giving the puck to Francis. Blocked away by the Rangers, and the Penguins again trying to get the motor going. From the penalty killer comes to Lemieux. In front to Francis, diving to get a backhand shot off, and Richter makes the save. Behind the goal, Thomas Sandstrom. Sandstrom poke it to the left point. Diver goes to Mario Lemieux. Lemieux, wheel and deal. Sundstrom, the rookie. Lemieux pulls it down to the corner. The Rangers have Lowe come after Lemieux, bump him. Now it's grabbed by McIver. Lemieux goes rink wide. Here's Yager. Slap shot missed on the far post. Francis keeps it in. Sundstrom, though, knocked it away from him. And Nicholas Sundstrom going to force that one back into Pittsburgh ice.
Jim Secord of Castle Shannon, our contestant on the American Airlines power play contest. One more rush for the Penguins.
McIver. Joseph couldn't take it. Lost it. The Rangers come back shorthanded. Messier in front. Here's Bukaboom. A backhander, and Barrasso just got his right glove out to make the stop. And was looking for the puck, and it sails right by everybody and on to the Ranger line. The Rangers successfully kill the penalty. So Ulf Samuelsson. Rangers lead 2-1 here in the first. 8 minutes left. That's whacked by the Rangers up ice. This will be an icing call against New York. We are in period number 1. The Rangers have the lead over Pittsburgh, and we'll pause. It is New York 2 and Pittsburgh 1 here on Prime Sports.
Bukaboom, who had the scoring opportunity a moment ago, and he still got a pretty good shot off. He was able to turn that stick over and redirect the puck to the backhand, and Barrasso made a good save on him right after the Penguins had failed on the power play.
Tomorrow playing center ice with Verbeek on the right wing, Robitaille on the left, and here come the Rangers to the Penguins in again, and Verbeek's wrist shot blocked by Chris Joseph. Rout comes in trying to get a piece of the Ranger movement, but he couldn't do it the first time. Now he flattens Robitaille with an elbow. Robitaille is going to go off, and LaRue really hammered him. But the Penguins go to the penalty box. Francois LaRue really crushed Robitaille behind the net.
The other night when LaRue, oh, what an elbow that was. He snuck it in there on him, but he didn't exactly sneak it good enough because he's going to the penalty box. Oh, my goodness.
I'll tell you something.
Good thing he was wearing a visor.
And knowing Luke, before this game's all done, he'll have one for Francois somewhere or somebody.
You could call him Elbows. That could be his middle name. I've seen him throw some pretty.
Oh, he's one of the best, yes, but he has a way of getting even in those things. This is another power play chance for the New York Rangers. Their second.
And then, frankly, that was not a good penalty by LaRue. He had a chance to just bump Robitaille there if he wanted to. He could have still hit him without throwing an elbow into him.
I think what he's trying to do is he's sensing now that he can maybe make an impact on this game to kind of get the Penguins back into it. They're down 2-1, but by no means are they out of it. So now they're going to have to kill another penalty.
The Rangers are 8-1 when they score the first goal, and they did score the first one in this one, and they lead 2-1 with 7:27 to go in the first.
But again, they can be vulnerable here at times to shorthanded attempts, and let's see if the Penguins can take advantage of it. The Rangers have given up 3. Rangers have it though in Leach, right side, over to Bruce Driver. Bringing him behind the net. Ian Moran comes after for the Penguins, and he throws it up ice, and a bouncing puck. Look at that puck bounce on that ice surface.
Brian Leach has made a tremendous play to keep the puck in. It was in the air. It was coming at 100 miles an hour, and he just knocked it straight down out of the air with a stick. I remember Kevin Stevens saying that Leach is absolutely the best at holding the puck in. That was after I had mentioned that Larry Murphy was the best I'd ever seen, and he thought that Leach was just as good, if not better, than Larry Murphy at keeping the puck into the blue line. An offside call brings the puck back into the Rangers zone. Offside pass.
Bring you up to date on the scoreboard. Winnipeg and Boston scoreless in the first. The Devils and Florida lead the league's best team. Florida 2-1.
I think we're going to see a replay of Leach holding the puck in. Watch this, Mike, as it comes around the left side if we have time to show it. Lemieux tried to get it out, right out of the air.
Yep. Leach again with possession. Through the alley to Pat Verbeek. Left wing to Ferraro, and couldn't hold on to it. Barrasso forced it on the near side, and the Penguins' Ian Moran quickly lifts that puck back to the Ranger zone. Again, that puck took a weird bounce off the ice, and that may be a factor before this game is all done. I'm seeing a lot of crazy bounces. Did in the warm-up, seeing it continuing here in the first period. The ice has just been put down. McIver around the boards, and it squirts free, and the Penguins have it. Here's Moranov up to Yager. He has one man back to beat Leach, and he can do a job here one-on-one. Comes in, but Leach makes a good poke check to force it off his blade. Robitaille leaves it for Brian Leach. Pretty fast. Messier in the slot. Verbeek, a quick shot, a good save. Rebound. Stopped by Barrasso again. Big scramble around the net. Graves trying to shoot it. Does. He missed the net. Messier back to Graves. Shooting. Barrasso said no. Right side. Lister fires, and he missed the net. The Rangers keep the pressure on. A shot by Leach. Save made again by Barrasso, and Tommy's keeping the Penguins in it right now. Lister right side shoots it. That missed the cage. Penguins after it. A big battle for Beek and Yager. Can the Pens get it out? And they do. And Barrasso coming up tough in that net for the Penguins. The Rangers had about 5 or 6 good shots. 14 to go in the penalty. And again returned to Penguin ice. And here's Tamer back to pull it in. And an icing call against the Rangers. Remember that set of saves by Tom Barrasso of the Penguins. The Rangers had the machine gun working against them. And Barrasso really equal to the task. He's unbeaten in 10, and he's playing like it right now.
It's amazing how that puck will follow you sometimes and come right back to you after you shoot the puck. Penguins collapsing to the net each time for rebounds, and every time the rebound came out, it came to another Ranger. Barrasso stopping Lidster there. Now he's going to stop Graves, and he just stopped anybody who had a chance. Those 2 saves there were the best, the one on Graves and the one before it.
5. The Rangers ran out of gas. They didn't have anything left. They had 5 shots on that particular hockey flurry, as they say.
And the key to Barrasso's success, I think, Mike, early in the season, I've said this before, is his ability to get back up. I think he's looking quicker in terms of coming from being down, getting back on his skates, and getting set again for the next shot. He's such tremendous physical condition right now. That part of his game has improved, I think. He may even be better at that than he ever was right now.
Sundstrom coming on board. The penalty now will expire. The Penguins at full strength. So the Rangers fail to score in the power play. They're 0 for 2. Turn back along the near boards in the Penguin zone. There's about several of their road games this year when they have not been particularly strong in the first period. Barrasso and/or Reagan have kept them in the game. And they get stronger as the game goes along and have won some games in the third. This one delivered back into Rangers ice. Could be icing against Pittsburgh, and it will be. Where are the shots at? I'm just looking here. The Rangers have 11. The Penguins have 15 already in the first. 2-1 Rangers on PRIME.
Travel provided by U.S. Air with daily nonstop service to Dallas, Atlanta, Chicago, and Detroit. U.S. Air #1 in Pittsburgh.
And then a town scoreboard. The Kings lead Philadelphia. Rick Tocchet with his 10th at Philadelphia, 1-0. Kovalev losing the puck to Mario Lemieux. Mario bumped by Messier, and the puck around to Norm McIver. He tried to get it out. He couldn't do it. Rangers work with it, and a shot back to the net. Barrasso denies that. Here's Lemieux battling Messier one-on-one. Fight for possession of the puck. Kovalev gets it back along the board. Lemieux pushing at Messier. Bang away at one another, and now Thomas Sandstrom finds a breaking Marcus Naslund. Naslund trying to cut inside on Boom and taken out of the play. Leach will work it around the left wing side to Mark Messier. Messier just floats it in behind the Penguin net. The right wing boards, and Moranov cut off a centering pass, and he has Lemieux open left side, a man open right side. Sandstrom, and Sandstrom will get the puck. Sandstrom shoots it. That missed the mark. He backdoor it. Kovalev for punching up his own in a 2-1 game here in this first period. 3:50 left. The Rangers lead. Reeves avoids Lemieux. Just pokes it to the Penguins in. The Rangers want to make a change. On the fly. Where's the puck? Wesley went after it behind the net. See the former Buffalo Sabre and is a free agent by the New York Rangers. Torres it around to Francis. Good pass on to Yager, but he has 3 white shirts to beat. Here he comes, trying to do it all. Comes in, skating to the near corner. Gets a reaction from the crowd, but he was outmanned 3-1. Yager gets it back right point to Moran. Pulls the trigger. Good save by Richter, but the rebound comes out, and the Rangers are right there to deliver it back to center.
Talk about obstruction. And Tinov just had the stick in the ribs of Yager. Turn him around with the stick. And you can forget those calls. They're out the window now. He did that earlier in the game too to Yager. On the first shift of the game, Yager was going to the net, and he had the stick just wrapped around his ribs.
Steal by the Penguins. LaRue. Here, Kevin Lowe knocks it down. And he'll find a breaking Luc Robitaille. Robitaille to Lidster. Feeds it on the backhand. It's simply far enough for icing. He'll stop the play again. It comes back to Penguin to Ranger territory. Now the Penguins have the Rangers tomorrow night. They're off for Thanksgiving, and then Buffalo comes to town, and the Sabres are playing much better hockey under Teddy Nolan. Let's quickly the update on the scoreboard. Winnipeg leads Boston 1-0 at Boston. The Devils lead 2-1 over Florida in the first. Kings lead 1-0 at Philadelphia. Toronto with a 1-0 lead over St. Louis in the first. And Washington 0. This is San Jose 0 in the first period at Washington.
By the way, we'll be talking to Luc Robitaille during the first intermission. And he can tell us all about that goal he scored and how life is here in the Big Apple. And he's living right here in the city, too. He was telling me before the game, so we'll ask him about that. And he's been able to live in the 2 biggest cities in the National Hockey League, Los Angeles and New York. And he's from Montreal.
Last by LaRue avoided the goal. Throws it on to center. Worked back by Joseph in behind the Ranger cage. The tempo was slowed considerably here in the last 6-7 minutes. They were really flying in the opening part of the game, and the goals were going in, but they got down the tempo. Oh, that shot hit his own teammate on the far side. Ray Ferraro got hit. That puck came up and caught him. Ferraro is just dazed. I don't know if it hit him in the helmet. I hope it did, be honest with you. I hope it hit him in the helmet and nowhere else.
Good thing he's wearing a visor, and I think he may have just gotten his bell rung here.
Was that Verbeek that turned to shoot it up into the zone? It was a right-handed shot. Could have been Litzter. No, this is nasty. Ferraro not only wears the helmet, but the visor as well.
He was checking for blood right away, but apparently he was not cut. Well, I take that back. Now it looks like they're holding a towel on the side of his head, so maybe he was cut.
And it could have been the impact of the shot
against the helmet.
Yeah,
that's right.
That cut him. Boy. Jenner said, Grant Jenny just say that's going to hurt in the morning. There's a major league headache there. What do I take? And I have to have something. Well, Ferraro gets clubbed by his own man. That was Litzner, I believe. Oh. He didn't see that till the very last second.
And fortunately he did.
Yeah. So Ferraro's off, and here comes Sandstrom. Sandstrom now will put it behind the net. Will not hurt the Penguins at all with Ferraro, who just continually kills the Penguins with plays. And hands over the years. First to deep into the Penguin zone. And Maranoff being double teamed. He makes a good play to swing away from that checking duo. Forces the play on the center. Messier on board here with Graves and Kovalev. Graves almost got behind the Penguin defense, but now Emmanuel Messier in on goal. He shoots and scores. Mark Messier, 3-1, New York. Penguins coughed it up. .15 the time of the goal. The Penguins just lost the puck. They got the first man, but Messier made no mistake, and he's so good around the net.
Well, Mario saw him at the last second going by, and by then it was too late. And Messier made a pretty move on Barrasso. I think Tommy knew what he wanted to do there, but by having to step to his right, he opened up that 5-hole, and Messier was able to slip it under his pad just before he got it down to the ice. Right along the ice. That's a good way to score goals when you've got a goaltender moving. And if he opens up like that, of course, we've seen Mario do that a lot over the years. Just get a guy to open up and slip it right in that hole.
Messier's 12th of the year. And the Rangers have a 3-1 lead. And Lemieux and the Penguins, that line has really had a tough first period. They've been on for all 3 goals against in this first period of play.
And Mario was a minus player in each of the first 3 games this year. Hadn't been a minus since. He was plus 14 in the last several games, but unfortunately he's in a hole here in terms of the plus minus -3.
I think the Penguins have had a bigger deficit this year in the first period. Trying to think back to the Chicago game. They lost 5-1. Here on the left side, it'll be Tamer behind the goal. Francis backdoor. Nobody's there. And the Rangers handle it. And banged ahead to Nemchinov. Wheels it back into Penguin real estate. Rangers, Penguins battling here in this first period. Kovalev on the puck now at center ice. Big battle in front of the Penguin bench. Is that Sandstrom over there? Rout comes over trying to get one of the Rangers away from Sandstrom. He's right at the Ranger bench. They were trying to pull him in. That was like the big spider trying to get him into the web.
Sandstrom saying something to Wayne Presley, who might have opened the door over there when Sandstrom was leaning against it, because he just closed it. You may have seen him close. They're going to put a whack on Kevin Lowe there, then turns him around. Lowe with a right hand to the chops and a nice glove to the face. They opened the door there. Whether or not Sandstrom pushed the door open, or I think they actually pulled the door open.
Presley was pulling him in.
That's what I said.
Presley had his arms, and he was pulling him in. Lowe's going off. Sandstrom too. But Presley literally was pulling Sandstrom into the penalty box. And that's what Sandstrom's telling him. I was trying to get out of there. They're pulling me in. You'll watch it again. You'll see Presley literally grab him and pull him in, which should be a penalty on Presley. Minor penalties to Lowe and Sandstrom, roughing calls. And that man got away. He got the cookie. He got it right out of the jar and didn't get caught.
Yeah, the door is still open. Presley's stepping in now, so the door was never closed.
Look at him. Just reached out and pulled him in. Penalties at 19-23. Coincidental minors for roughing. So the New York Rangers with a 3-1 lead, trying to add to it. Here's Graves with a backhand shot, almost scored. Messier pulls back, but the Penguins take it away. It's 4-on-4 right now. Lemieux and Jágr. The Rangers settle in, and they have the puck. Now they enjoy a good first period. And the Penguins, not quite so good. And they did not have it here in the opening 20 minutes against New York. And we're going to get an icing call against the Rangers with 1.8 seconds left. How does this game read? If the Penguins would have scored on the breakaway by Lemieux, would it have been a different game? I don't know. Not the way the Rangers are playing. They've been pretty strong here.
We haven't really seen a lot of the Penguins young kids in this first period, if any of them at all. And then, you know, those guys have been able to come out, lay some hits on some people, set the tone for the Penguins. And I'm really surprised that EJ hasn't used them at all. He used Richard Park in a penalty killing role, but he's gone mostly with a couple of lines here. And you know, those guys will get the puck in deep and give you a different look. And sometimes it's good just to get them involved in the game in the first period.
Not only that, you're going to play tonight and play tomorrow, and you just came off a back-to-back series. So maybe you want to kind of save your personnel a little bit. Messier against Francis. And play is going to run out here at the end of one. The 20 minutes have been completed. And the New York Rangers skating strong in that opening frame. And the lead over the Pittsburgh Penguins. The score, the New York Rangers 3 and the Pittsburgh Penguins 1. We'll return right here on Prime Sports. Well, the Penguins trailed 1-0 after Adam Graves opened the scoring, but Jaromir Jágr got the Penguins into the tie at 3:23, the only Penguin goal tonight. And here is Jágr, an unassisted goal. Just blew that one right by Mike Richter.
Richter had to lean one way, and because he had a little traffic off to his right, and that just leaning a little bit like that gave Jágr that much more space to work with, and made it that much tougher for Richter to get over and make the save. And it was a well-placed shot to begin with. Here's a goal that Messier scored. Kovalev made a pretty pass to Graves. Graves knocked it down. Messier just trailing the play, picked it up, went in and slipped it underneath Tom Barrasso to make it 3-1. You know, the Rangers are 1-5-3 in the first periods of their last 9 games. And the Penguins had been outscoring their opponents 28-12 in the first period. So it looked as though the makings were there for the Penguins to maybe get the jump on the Rangers here tonight, but they won that first period 3-1.
This broadcast is intended for the private use of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or any other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Penguins is strictly prohibited. There's Mike Richter, who made a key save early in this contest on Mario Lemieux of the Penguins on a breakaway attempt.
Well, Mike, the Penguins have allowed 3 goals or less in 9 of their last 11, 13 of their last 17, and Tom Barrasso has allowed 3 or less in 8 of his last 10, and then those other 2, the Penguins were able to win the game even though they allowed more than 3 goals and tie one of them. So it's really been unusual for the Penguins to allow this many goals in one period and be down 3-1 at this point of a hockey game. But then again, they haven't played a team with the firepower of the Rangers in quite some time either.
Jágr's 17th goal gives him a tie with Mario Lemieux for the league lead in that category. And they'll play 4-on-4 hockey for a brief time. Graves right in front of the start of the face-off. Put a shot on Barrasso, and he makes that save. And Bukaboom deals it behind the net. Messier flying out here. He comes around the far wing. Jágr trying to poke it up ahead of Lemieux. It's going to be stripped away by the New York Rangers. The Ranger captain, Mark Messier, in the Pittsburgh ice. He shoots that one to the net. It's going to be deflected. 51 seconds to go on the penalties to Sandstrom and Kevin Lowe. Around to the left wing board, Jeff Bukaboom bangs it right back in behind the net again to Mark Messier. Pass it out to Verbeek, who flags it down off his leg. Holds the puck. He's pressured by the Penguins' McIver. Up into the corner to Messier. Back to Verbeek, and he's alone. Look out here. At Verbeek, Moranov comes out to challenge. Oh, Samuelson had cut towards the slot. Doesn't go that way. Came off a stick right to Mario Lemieux. Lemieux dances with it. Verbeek back on the road. And here comes Lemieux again, dancing with it back into the Rangers end. Ulf Samuelson after him. He cuts away from him, still holding the puck, but it was outside the line when he brought it back in, and we get an offside call.
Ulf Samuelson will play you straight up as well as any defenseman in this game today. He's an outstanding skater. He stayed right with Mario, and he kept himself very close to him as he came across that blue line. He didn't give him enough space, did not back in at all to allow Mario to make the play he wanted to make as he crossed that blue line. Mark Messier has really played well tonight in this game so far. He seems to be inspired to play a strong game against Pittsburgh and against Mario Lemieux.
Yep. It's almost as if, and we were talking to John Davidson as he said that Colin Campbell, the coach, a former Penguin player, said, okay, here's your assignment tonight, guys. You're going to play against the top line. Let's see what happens. And they've responded so far. Thomas Sandstrom looking for an avenue. He comes up to the Ranger line. Kick it ahead, but Francis is offside as he entered the zone. And another whistle and another face-off will take place outside of Ranger territory.
And Colin Campbell realizing that Mario's line is going to be thinking offense, and that if he can get his guys to play strong offensively against them, force Mario and company to play defense, that he could be in good shape. And again, sometimes it works the other way too. We'll find out that Lemieux's line ends up forcing them to play defense, but that hasn't been the case here in the Garden.
I said earlier at the outset of this broadcast, the Rangers were 6-1 at home. They are 6-2. And they have the puck and carry it through to the Penguins end. Nemchinov drop pass, got a man open, and a quick shot right there, and the rebound goes in. Mateau has put it in on the rebound, and the Rangers now lead 4-1. And the Rangers are making it look easy. Well, the Penguins just had nobody back at all. Nemchinov took it wide and set it up. Lister fired the puck, and Mateau got the rebound and put it in. And it's now 4-1 New York.
Well, they battled for it off the draw, and the Penguins tried to clear it. It hit a Ranger, and it hit Nemchinov at center ice, and all he had to do was go the other way. 3-on-2 developed. Mateau went to the net, and Barrasso was beaten on the rebound of the shot. Mateau getting the rebound and putting it in right there.
1:49 the time of the goal. Number 1 on the year for Stefan Mateau. Penguins set it up for Dave Roche. Roche comes out, shoots at his first shift of the night. The puck grabbed now by the Rangers, and they wind it up the center. Adam Graves going to deal it right back in around the Penguin net.
By the way, that was Driver who took the first shot.
Driver, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and he'll get the assist on the play. Mateau gets the goal.
My apologies. Driver did bring it in, and was Nemchinov also an assist. Here's Sandstrom on the right wing to Mario Lemieux. Drop it off to Joseph shooting. That never got through the net. It hit Dave Roche. And pulled in now by the New York Rangers. Brian Leetch cutting quickly back into the Penguin zone. This little drop pass stolen away by Richard Park. Park of the Penguins dancing with it. Comes in with a wrist shot. They credited Park with 5 shots in that first period. Saggy and I were talking about it between periods. I don't remember him having 5 shots.
I remember 1.
Glenn Murray up against Kovalev, a pair of number 27's battle, and it comes free to McIver. McIver's wrist shot and sails wide, and it comes off the boards, deflected away by Mike Richter. Rangers lead 4-1. So the young players now getting an opportunity to play here early in the second period. Penguins are down by 3. Park along the near boards, and Glenn Murray very intently here, trying to keep the puck in the Ranger zone. They can't do it. Runoff will find Joe Dietzick. Dietzig's attempted pass off Brian Leetch. Backdoor delivery by Park into the Ranger zone. There's a steal. Dietzick had it for a second but lost it. Kovalev looks tired. He comes up and shoots it to the Penguin net and goes towards the bench. Barrasso hurries it up, knocked down by Glenn Murray, and here's Francis taking the pass. What do they call a high stick? High stick on the puck, and play is negated. 16:13 to go in period number 2. The New York Rangers lead the Penguins 4-1 here in New York.
Well, Discover card brings you a little slice of Penguins history. November 21st, 1976, Doug Wilson Made 25 saves to earn a shutout as the Penguins beat Chicago 5-0 at the Civic Arena. I was not living in the Berg at the time, Mike, but you saw a lot of Dunk Wilson play, and he was a pretty good competitor, was he not?
Yes, he was. Dunk had a good stretch there for the Penguins. One real big year. And helped lead them. The Penguins didn't have a whole lot of other, they weren't that strong depth-wise in those years. Here's Yager giving the puck to Francis. He shoots it, save made, rebound. Penguins Yager trying to tap it in. He can't do it. Yarmer gets it again off the right side. And Chinoff trying to slow him down. Yager cuts away from that check. Turns and fires it right to the net. And it's a good stop by Richter on Yarmer Yager. They bounce it ahead. Duncan undergone some problems with cancer in his shoulder. And still going pretty good. I think still living in Vancouver. Here's the play worked over the far side. Out of the Rangers in and deflected back now to Penguin ice. We're trying to find Ron Francis, and he hustles back into the Rangers zone against Driver. Left point, Tamer shoots it. That's a stop. The rebound right back to Mike Richter, and he pulls it in.
Penguins getting the puck to the net against Mike Richter. Yager with a beautiful play a moment ago with Nemchinov chasing him around. Nemchinov gave him that extra second to turn and take the shot, and Richter had to be very alert to make that save. It was like the effect of almost like a turnaround jump shot because Yager had his back to the goal when he shot it. Not an easy thing for the goaltender to read. Certainly he shouldn't expect it. And then Tamer driving one from the left point. See how far out Richter is to make the save on that shot from the point, way out above his crease. And he's got to be there because he's not a big goaltender. He's got to really take the angles away from the shooters.
Keith Jones in the second period against the San Jose Sharks scoring to give the Capitals a 1-0 lead over San Jose.
Thing
in the second period
about Richter, Mike, is there's a goaltender in the league who has the ability to get back to the post the way Richter does when he's out of that net and has to go back not only from left to right or right to left, but also back at an angle towards the post. He has that incredible flexibility where he can reach with his pad all the way back to the post to make a save. And I don't think there's another goalie in the league, with the possible exception of Verbeek, who can make that play.
Kovalev trying to get a step on Chris Tamer. Tamer cuts him off. Kovalev and the Rangers leading 4-1. Turns and shoots it right to the goal. And Barrasso made the save for the Penguins. Ian Moran finds Mario Lemieux and a bouncing puck into the Rangers zone. Cleared by Brian Leach. The Penguins have to chase back to get it again. Moran with a little room. Going to the Ranger zone. He might pull the trigger and does. And that's a save by Richter. Rebound. Sandstrom trying to put it on the net. Can't find the cage. And again behind the goal. Now it's the Penguins coming on here. Down 4-1. Lemieux makes a steal. Mario with the biscuit. Looking to find somebody to pass to. Still control. Messier's after it. Goes over to Marcus Naslund. Shoots to the net. Save made. Rebound. Sandstrom. And he can't find anybody in front. Naslund again with it. Lemieux goes in front of the net. They go to Sandstrom. He can't shoot it. Knocked down. Gets it back. Penalty against the Rangers. Shot by Sandstrom. And the Rangers have possession. Sandstrom was knocked down and tripped. And the Penguins get a power play. In the last 2-3 minutes, the Penguins have been the team coming on here at New York. And they've got a pretty big deficit to overcome. This penalty will be issued at the 5:57 mark, and it's Jeff Bukaboom.
Mario Lemieux doing the number, and Messier has been on Mario all night. He's done a great job of covering him in the defensive zone. Lemieux did a tremendous job there of dancing away from him, getting it to Naslund, who got it to Sandstrom, and then Bukaboom must have grabbed Sandstrom right after that, because it wasn't long after that that Mario went in front of the net, and I think Bukaboom was staying with Sandstrom and ended up holding him. And tripping is the call.
I don't have a strong sense, but I have a slight sense here that the Rangers are waiting for the Penguins to explode. You get that feeling with knowing all the numbers and everything that's been talked about offensively. It's almost like they're saying, okay, now when are they going to start scoring? Lemieux off the left side. Lemieux to the right point, going to McIver, and his shot deflected. It's off Samuelson, knocked down. Brian Smolinski in front of the goal. Comes to Yager. Feed it over to Mario Lemieux in the right wing corner. Back to Smolinski, but he can't hold the pass. And the Rangers have it. This Sundstrom doing a lot of key assignments by Coach Colin Campbell in his rookie season. The same team in Sweden as Marcus Naslund. Depends.
By the way, Gay Lynn Nordstrom is our contestant. She's from Washington, PA, on the American Airlines power play contest.
Must be another Swede friend of Thomas's and Marcus. Lemieux. Down deep behind the net to Yager. Around to the right point to McIver. They're coming after the Penguins immediately when they get the puck. Goes to Francis. Now to Lemieux. Back to Ron Francis. He'll find Lemieux again. Back to Francis. Left point. Shot deflected. Ulf Samuelsson behind the goal. Knocked down by Smolinski. Ulf plays it with his glove around the near wing, and the Rangers work over, and Francis runs to the Presley. He'll get an interference call. I think it'll be an interference call against. It'll be a holding call against Ron Francis.
I don't know why holding. I could see maybe interference, but not holding. And see Ronnie saying I gave him like a block. But oftentimes the penalty killer will come out and take the point man in that situation, not even thinking of the puck. That's what they coach you to do, actually. So Francis, I think, tried to beat him to the punch, and he threw a forearm into his head, knocked him down. That's basically interference. Call it what you want, but they call it holding on Ron Francis.
So they'll be 4 aside for the next 57 seconds.
Penguins never could get Thomas Sandstrom back out there on the power play. They had Brian Smolinski out there in his place. Sandstrom had played the last shift before the power play, so they started the power play with Smolinski taking his place, but were able to keep Mario on the ice even though he had been on for the previous shift also.
We'll put Sandstrom and Park out here against Messier and Graves. Chris Joseph pulling back in behind the Penguin goal. Can't get it through to the right wing. Moran will try. He'll skate it up. Going to Thomas Sandstrom at a 4-1 Ranger lead. Moran comes off the near boards. Swinging over the right side to Joseph towards the net. That's going to not be there, but Park handles it. Stick handling with a biscuit. Richard Park, man open. He gets it to him in a hurry to Joseph. Fake a shot. Now lets it go, and he missed the target. Ian Moran scooting back down to the near corner. Messier and Graves out here against Park and Sandstrom. I would have to consider this a Penguin victory if they can keep the puck and the other teams in on this play, because with Messier and Graves out there, you expect a little more offense. They did a good job against them. Graves to the left side of Messier, and they'll be tired to go to the power play here. And now they start on the power play. It was an interesting setup there by Cole and Campbell to put them out in 4-on-4 and not use them here on the power play. And they've got 53 seconds to go, so they're going to use Verbeek out here with Sundstrom. And here comes Robitaille on. Instead of using Graves and Messier, who have probably been their 2 best players on the night. Yager and Lemieux on for the Pens.
He probably just made a decision in advance, Mike, that he was going to use those guys in 4-on-4 situations. Those are his 4-on-4 players, regardless of what is coming. But you're right. You know, some coaches might think ahead and decide to go with something else so that they have their players fresh for the power play.
This will be Brian Leach connecting to Sundstrom. Sundstrom to the Penguin zone. Weave his way down the left side. Good pass to Leach. Back door, but behind the play was Bruce Driver. And the Penguins take it away. Short-handed, they move into the Rangers zone. Aronoff just pokes it down the board. 3 seconds to go on the Penguin penalty to Ron Francis. These clubs will be 0 for 3 in the power play now. Leach had a shot partially blocked. It comes right by Francis, who just came on. Richter 45 feet out of the net to play the puck up to center. Back it goes into Penguin ice. We've seen Richter come out of the net a long way out. Good skating goaltender, Mike Richter. Robitaille around the Penguin net. Now LaRue can't find it. They chop it away to the left point. Ulf Samuelsson keeps it in. And wheeled around to the left wing corner. Aronoff and Chris Wells. Wells on board for the Penguins here with Roche and Park. LaRue battling for the puck behind the net. Up off the window, but not out of the zone. Robitaille is hit by LaRue. And Chinoff behind the cage. Turns away from a check. Comes over and goes to Wolf Samuelsson, who goes down deep along the goal line. All trying to pull it around in front, and he's hit by LaRue. Whose puck goes in. The Rangers have scored. Who got it? Verbeek, I believe. Samuelsson just barreled his way in around that net. And I think Pat Verbeek may have been the man that tapped it in. So the Rangers have a 5-1 lead.
Well, Verbeek has certainly scored enough goals in his career like that. And he's down on his face or whatever. He's not like Joey Mullen. He gets a lot of goals by just sticking his nose in there. and finding loose pucks and somehow working them in behind the goaltender. Alfie just crashing, just barging right to the goal crease. LaRue nailed him coming through. And in the meantime, Verbeek somehow got a stick on that puck and put it in. Robitaille worked real hard on that shift. The Rangers worked extremely hard down low. They made the Penguin defense really work. And they just maintained possession of the puck, kept controlling the play, and Alfie read that. I think he realized that the play was down below the hash mark so much that he could gamble. He could get it in deep. His team's up 4-1, so why not take a chance? He goes right to the goal mouth. Verbeek finds the puck and puts it in. His 9th of the year.
Goal number 9 for Pat Verbeek. Center ice. Falling down and stumbling his tamer. The Rangers watch the Penguins gain the puck. And Moran up the right. The worst Penguin loss this year has been a 5-1 defeat at the hands of the Chicago Blackhawks. They're already down 5-1 here in period number 2. Barrasso worked it himself away from the net. Francis going for it. Centered now. Presley handles it, and he takes a shot that's blocked. And Brian Leetch will ram it right back into the Penguins' end. This is Nemchinov, pressured by Moran. Francis trying to pull away from a check. Outlet left wing to Brian Smolinski. Long slap shot. Richter to his knees to make the save. Now guides the puck with a stick behind the net. Francis takes it away. He tried to put it in front. Couldn't. Joseph off the right side. Goes off the stick of Smolinski to Francois Leroux. Feathered it towards the net. It carries behind the goal. Yager goes after it. Bukaboom handles him and knocks him off his skates. To the right point. Joseph has it. Walks in. Shoots the puck and is stopped by Richter. The Rangers handle the disc and they shoot it up off the boards and deep into Penguin ice. Messier and Joseph go back. Joseph got there first, and we have an icing call against the Rangers. Well, the Rangers right now very comfortable with a 5-1 lead over the Pittsburgh Penguins right here on Prime Sports.
Well, for complete news on the Penguins, dial the Penguins fan phone at 642-7777. Game reports, stats, player and coach interviews, ticket information, Isoplex at South Point happenings, as well as merchandise offers. Call the Penguin fan phone at 412-642-7777, 24 hours a day.
Here's Naslund trying to direct it to the Ranger goal to the icing play against New York. It's not going to get there. Lemieux handles the puck. In front now he has Naslund. He didn't expect that pass. Mario just fed it to him. Went right by. Kovalev and the Rangers right behind his own goal. Swinging over to Kevin Lowe, and Naslund's all over him like a new pair of shoes. Lemieux trying to get to it. He couldn't. Graves winded ahead to the right wing. Now to Mark Messier. Rue went down. Rue got himself back up and clears the zone. Well, you can feel helpless, boy, against a guy like Messier or Lemieux or LaFontaine at times. And those defensemen go off their skates and they're out there basically swimming. And when you have people that can handle the puck like those guys, I mean, they could make you look awfully bad. Here's Kovalev as a man. Messier going to the net, but he couldn't get it through to him. It was LaRue went over and put pressure on the play on the left wing. Kovalev with speed to the Penguin zone. Leave it for Nicholas Sundstrom. He put it right in front. Barrasso tried to deflect it. Robitaille will get to it. To Sundstrom again. He fanned on that shot. And upended by Joseph. Almost can't get it out. Joseph hurries along off Naslund's stick and on the center red. Naslund wants to come off the ice. And the Penguins put 2 troops out. Verbeek, who has scored, gives the puck in front. A quick shot. Verbeek's got it again. Robitaille had set it up. Robitaille with a turnaround attempt. That's going to go offline. Verbeek again. Cross rink pass. Boy, Murray can't clear the zone. And it's all New York here at the moment. Nicholas Sundstrom. Sundstrom behind the net for Robitaille. Sets it up for Verbeek. A quick shot. Save made. Rebound. Barrasso save. Rebound again. It goes in. Verbeek would not be denied. 6-1 Rangers.
He scored that one again while he was prone on the ice. 3 cracks at it. When you get that many rebound opportunities, you're going to put the puck in the net eventually. Robitaille reminds me of the way he's playing tonight, of the way we used to see him play for the Kings against Pittsburgh for years when we go to the Forum and play against them. He's just controlling the puck down low. He's working give and goes with his line mate Verbeek. Beautiful plays. Verbeek once, twice, and the third one, did he put that in or did LaRue put it in his own net? I'd like to see that one again. It looked like he didn't have to get his stick on it. There's the first shot. Here's the second. Oh, he got it. He chipped it right into the net, just diving over top of LaRue. Verbeek's amazing at that.
I really don't know how much more you can ask of Tom Barrasso.
You can't.
I mean, he's and it's still 6-1.
I remember you saying when we were in San Jose that the Penguins were going to have one of these nights somewhere along the way too.
And it does happen. Sundstrom and Robitaille, the assist on the goal by Verbeek, is second of the period and 10th of the year. So the Rangers really opening it up now in the second period. They led 3-1 at the end of 2. Yager coming down. He tried to shoot it. That'll be deflected. Smoletzky in front. Look for Yager. Now a fight breaks out here with Lowe and Francis. Francis dropped the stick.
Well, Kevin Lowe, Mike, has been noted for years for holding on to the stick. He's a master at it. He's getting up there in years, 36 years old, doesn't move quite as well. He just grabbed hold of Ron Francis and tackled him to the ice. I know Ronnie's frustrated by players clutching and grabbing him anyway.
Well, they'll settle down, and the New York Rangers have a couple of field goals here already in the second period. 6-1 Rangers.
Well, if you watch in the lower corner of the screen here, lower right corner, you'll see Ron Francis getting dumped by Lowe. I think he took his legs out from under him with his legs, kicked him right out. Ronnie got up and took exception to it, but Lowe gets the only penalty.
Penguins on a power play. Their fourth chance here, and a shot by McIver. Stopped by Richter. McIver's had a whiplash the other night. Well, he left the game against Washington. Back here this evening to play. The Penguins are still out shooting the Rangers 26-24. They trail 6-1.
George Howe of Pittsburgh has a chance to win a couple of tickets to a future Penguins game in our American Airlines Power Play contest.
Boston rallying to take the lead against Winnipeg 3-1 now in the second. Florida leads New Jersey 3-2 in period number 2. The Kings and Flyers are tied at 2 in the second. Toronto leads St. Louis 2-0 in the second period. And the Penguins looking for anything right now. Yager, the league's best power play unit, has been shut down so far. Lemieux in the left wing boards. He'll come after the puck. There goes left point to Francis. Now back to Lemieux. Wheel it up to Francis, right side of McIver. Into the corner. Yager goes cross ring, partially deflected. Lemieux took a bump from Bukaboom. He's going to get a penalty for this. Yager comes over and says something to Bukaboom. Mario slow in getting up. Bukaboom knocked him into the boards. And apparently will give Pittsburgh a 2-man advantage. He will get himself up. Only at 14-14 of period number 2.
Skip Thayer, the Penguins trainer, has come onto the ice to talk to Mario. Bukaboom can't believe it. He thinks he just took him into the boards like he does anybody else.
He's going to send him out of the game. It's going to be a hit from behind, apparently.
And he was fishing for the puck. Oh, man, he got drilled. No question about that. He won't feel too good tomorrow in the morning either. That'll really hurt Lemieux's neck, you would think. He went head first into the glass. He was fishing for the puck there along the boards. And anytime you do that, you're risking somebody like a Bukaboom hitting you.
Well, it turns out to be a major penalty against the New York Rangers and giving Pittsburgh a 2-man advantage for 1 minute and 20 seconds.
And the puck was bouncing on Mario. He just moved it and then took the hit. Wow. Well, Bukaboom and LaRue are similar players. They're very tall and kind of awkward looking at times, and they can really throw some body shots on the ice. And Bukaboom, one of the bigger hitters in the NHL. I was just telling Jaromir Jagr about that before the game, about some hits I've seen him throw over the years, and some slow motion replays we've had of Bukaboom matching up against Kevin Stevens. Doesn't matter how big you are, he can really rock you. There's no question about it.
Well, the Penguins need to convert, and convert in a hurry. Smoletzky came off the ice. Lemieux on. There's the puck into the Penguins in. Shorthanded by 2 men of the Rangers. Lemieux looking for it. He got himself right back into the play as it hops back into Penguin real estate. Francis carries the mail onto the Ranger line. Moves in. Looks back to Lemieux. Trying to give it to him. He does. Lemieux couldn't make the pass to McIver. Here's Messier. Messier ahead for Graves behind the defense, but he couldn't take that pass. That would have been a spectacular goal there had the Rangers gotten one. Short-handed by 2 men. Graves and Messier continue to sparkle. Here comes Francis, leaving the puck for Mario Lemieux. And the Penguins are offside at the Ranger line. And this crowd now very much into this game. The Rangers lead 6-1.
Well, Mario wanted to play, Mike, these 2 games because he felt that in the other games where he had too many days off, he just couldn't get it rolling. He didn't feel like he had to jump right from the start of games because he was taking too long between games. So he comes out here tonight and plays, and then, you know, planning again to play tomorrow night. He's gotten a lot of ice time in this game. He and the Francis line were on the ice almost exclusively in the first period. He's been for a lot of power plays. There's that lead pass that didn't connect, and Adam Graves had to go get it after Barrasso cleared it away. But we would expect Mario to play again tomorrow night against the Rangers at the Civic Arena.
32 seconds to go on the 2-man advantage. Bukaboom is gone for the game, and the game misconduct for hitting from behind. And Messier and Graves are right back on. So they got a short little shift, rest. They play the puck to the Penguins in. The U.S. to backpedal with Graves right on it. Here's Yager relaying the puck over to Ron Francis. Cross rink, and the Rangers steal again. The Rangers are doing everything right, and the Penguins just can't seem to make it click. Kind of 8 seconds on the 2-man advantage to Jaromir Jagr. Lemieux, wrist shot, save made. Richter. Jagr steers it over to Lemieux. First penalty is over to Kevin Lowe. They shuffle it back. McIver in front of Lemieux. He shoots it, and sprawling to make the save will be Mike Richter. And Graves steps it ahead of the Penguins in. McIver leaves the puck for Ron Francis. And again another checking play by Sundstrom. The Rangers are right in the Penguin faces. They just are continually there. They played a strong game all around, even though the Penguins have 27 shots on goal in this game.
And I don't think they have 1 rebound attempt.
Lemieux feeding the puck behind the net. Jaromir Jagr back to Lemieux. Turns it over to Moranov, right point. A slap shot stopped by Richter. The rebound. Lemieux pulls away and dancing with it. Trying to go left side to Joseph. Joseph is hitting the play by Wayne Presley. Penguins in digging for it. Lemieux trying to get it free. Does. There we go to the left point to Chris Joseph. On the right side of Moranov. Back to Joseph. Lemieux again with it. Shuffle it. Right side. Moranov can't make a play. Sundstrom shutting down, but he does keep the puck in. Smolinski behind the net. 2:24 in the major penalty. 6-1 New York. Penguins not shooting right now. Now here's Jagr throwing one. Save made by Richter. Lemieux again with it. He's been out here this whole time. In front, another save by Richter. Around the boards. Moranov pulls it up. To Joseph into the corner for Smolinski. How long can Lemieux remain out? Centers it for Jagr. It's off his body. And the Rangers control. Finally, the Penguins get new people on. And this crowd will erupt, to say the least, if the Rangers should kill this major penalty too. Driver right side off the stick of Marcus Naslund. One step deep into the Penguin zone. Also gets the puck to McIver. Boy, Messier is everywhere tonight.
They're so inspired, it's unreal. I mean, they're obviously, after that road trip and losing the last couple of games, they've really enjoyed the opportunity to play against this Penguin team, I think.
And they look like Stanley Cup champions right now, do they not? Sundstrom will go after it. Out of the zone, back to center. They are standing here at the Garden in New York. Right back behind the Penguin net. Moranov trying to find a little avenue. The center ice to Naslund. Intercepted again by Presley. And the penalty has 45 seconds to go. Moranov's going to run out of gas. He's been out here forever. He's waving to the bench. He's got to get off. Look out. Matteau comes against Barrasso, and Barrasso played it off the board. Joseph giving the puck to Ian Moran. On to center to Ron Francis. Looks for Yager. Yager hit hard against the boards, and now is Smolinski right behind the net. Lowe beating to it and forward. Less than a minute to go in the period. And the Rangers have killed it here with 5 seconds to go. Well, this is good because the Penguins come to town and the Ranger fans got them right back into a rivalry. And they show the respect of this Penguin team. Actually, the Rangers are thumping them right now, but they appreciate the fact that they're beating one of the league's best. And the Rangers are doing that. 30 seconds to go in the period. Here is Joseph. And it would make me as a player feel pretty good if they were that inspired to cheer on every play. I mean, the fact that I was coming in here and thought enough of us that they were winning the battle. And right now they are. Diezik shoots that one to the near corner. Centered out, and Sundstrom cut that off. Thomas Sandstrom trying to go to the left point. Again, the Rangers steal. Verbeek with a pair tonight to Robitaille, and his shot high and wide as time runs out. They stand en masse at the Garden. This is their moment.
I'll tell you, Mike, I wasn't here when they won the cup, but I can't imagine it being much louder. They're going crazy here at the Garden for the Rangers, who've done a tremendous job so far for 40 minutes.
Two periods completed. And the end of two. Let's take a break. The score, the New York Rangers lead the Penguins. New York 6 and Pittsburgh 1 right here on Prime Sports.
And Ray Ferraro's actually back on the ice, believe it or not. There he is. So maybe he will play. He's going to the bench. And the Penguins 0 for 5 on the power play in this game. Down 6-1 as we start the third.
And they shoot it right to the Ranger goal to begin the third period, and Richter smothers that. The Penguins have outshot the Rangers through two periods, 31-25. That's shot number 32 for Pittsburgh. 0 for 5 on the power play of the Pens. And the Rangers are 0 for 3.
There's Pee Wee Ferraro, signed as a free agent. He and Ulf Samuelsson reunited. They were together in Hartford and good friends there, so I'm sure that made Ulfie feel better when he found out Ferraro would be here.
Here's a quick shot by McIver, stopped by goaltender Richter again. Now Rusty Fitzgerald of the Penguins giving the puck to Jaromir Jagr. Francis, Fitzgerald, and Jagr work as a trio. I'm feeling we might see Smolinski at center ice here somewhat in this third period. Give him a chance at his natural position. Fitzgerald put a bump on one of the Rangers, and the Rangers carry it out of their own end. Nemchinov worked the puck up to Wayne Presley. Presley Matteau on the wings here. The puck is out of play and up into the seats for Sergei Nemchinov.
Well, during the intermission, we got a visit from Rob Cochran of number one Cochran. Stopped by to say hi. Along with Bruce Kaplan of KDK-TV.
I didn't ask him if he drove up here. You would imagine.
Oh, they're flying. No, they're flying back tomorrow. No, he didn't drive.
He didn't drive? With all those cars, he could have driven, 4 or 5 cars. Drop one off. There's Lemieux, who was hit from behind. Jeff Vukovic gone for the game. And to the Penguin net, the quick shot. Barrasso gloves that.
Mike, when we were in Ottawa, Greg Millen came up to me after the game. And I don't remember if Nedved got hit in the corner in that game. And he got cut. One of the Senators hit him from behind. And Millen said, well, at what point does the player who has the puck have some responsibility about knowing that if his back's turned to a guy and he's fishing for the puck, he's liable to get hit? At what point does the player take a little bit of responsibility? And that is an issue, but I think Vukovic had time there to decide how hard he wanted to hit Lemieux at that point. When he sees his back is completely turned to him, it's the responsibility of the players doing the hitting to know when.
Haslam with a wicked slap shot off the skate of Mike Richter. Lemieux behind the net, trying to feed it in front, does to Sandstrom, and he's too well covered by Messier. The Rangers ramble out of their own zone. Return to Penguin territory. Tamer stopped that. These two clubs meet again tomorrow night at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. Haslam's pass behind Lemieux. Messier again. Frees the biscuit and will shoot it in. Trying to get a little momentum going here the rest of the way in this game. Had some pretty good shots. You look at the Rangers overall. still, with Richter, I mean, the Penguins have had some scoring opportunities against him, and yet have only one goal. Verbeek snaps one off, looking for the hat trick, and that's going to be blocked. Verbeek now runs into Smolinski. The puck up to the left point to Lowe. Lowe sails it in behind the Penguin goal. Here's Verbeek again with a puck. Ferraro is back out here, working with Robitaille and Verbeek.
Moran has lost his stick.
Now trying to make a stop and a play, and the puck sails through, and Glenn Murray hustling out. Murray with Dietzick, and they do have Smolinski at center ice here on this line. Ferraro and the Rangers keep the pressure on. Robitaille to Ferraro, and he bangs one off Tom Barrasso. Dietzick finally brings the puck onto center red. He zigzags in. Drop pass to Glenn Murray. Will he shoot it? He does. And Ulf Samuelsson out. A great ability to get that stick down and deflects the shot by Glenn Murray and comes into the crowd. Winnipeg and Boston tied at 3 in the second. Florida leads New Jersey now 3-2. They were down 2-0 in that game in the second. The Kings and Philadelphia tied at 2 in the third. Toronto leads St. Louis 3-2 in the second. San Jose and Washington tied at 1 apiece in the second.
Well, they tell us that the Rangers have never played better than they're playing in this game tonight. They're 3-4 in games against teams over 500 so far this year.
Chris Joseph. He'll hammer one that'll miss the net. Along the way onto center ice, and Chris Joseph again takes command of it, looking for Jaromir Jagr. Turned around, and Ulf Samuelsson goes back to play the puck. The Penguins can't touch this puck. It would be an offside play. It allows the Rangers to bring it out. Can they do it? Lutsterd finally does. They're reacquired back from the St. Louis Blues. Driver's a free agent from New Jersey. With a couple of defensemen plus Ulf Samuelsson. Jagr into the lane, and he can't make the play to the right point. Joseph shoots one towards a goal that hits something on the way to the net. Penguins do keep it in. Ulf Samuelsson whacking away at him against Rusty Fitzgerald. Right point, Joseph shoots it. Samuelsson blocked that. He goes off his skate, still loose. And with it'll be Sundstrom. He's a tough guy to get that puck by, boy. He'll do anything he can to block it. He did so on that maneuver too. The stick of Naslund to Thomas Sandstrom. Sandstrom. Gordy Mateau as it's put in behind the net to Mario Lemieux. Mario still with a puck. Centers it right there. Man open. There's Sandstrom shooting. Big save by Richter there off his right shoulder. Thomas Sandstrom leads it back in front of the net. Now, the Rangers have gotten it all. I mean, they've played well as a team. Their penalty killing, their power play is 0 for 3, but just their whole play. And Richter has played very well in the net, too. It's been a well-played team game for the Rangers tonight. McIver trying to stretch out and make something happen. His wrist shot. I think hit the outside of the post. Karam's off and goes back to center. 15:40 left in the third period. Rangers 6 and the Penguins 1. Pass on to Glenn Murray, double team, but he does feed the puck back into Ranger real estate. Kevin Lowe on defense. Kovalev gets the biscuit. He throws that one up ice. The Penguins will hurry to get it. An icing call against New York. And we'll return. We are at the Garden in New York. The crowd is tempered down just a bit. The Rangers lead 6-1.
Well, the combined records of the teams the Penguins have played in the last 11 games, in which they went 9-1-1, 72-89 and 29. In the next 11 games, the combined records 89, 109 and 19. So even after the Penguins play these 2 games with the Rangers, they'll play quite a few more games against teams that are below 500. And you would think they'd be able to take advantage of that too in the next couple of weeks.
Smolinski will get the puck to Chris Tamer. Deflection into the Rangers end. Dave Roche went for it. Smolinski takes center ice with Murray and Dave Roche. Verbeek found a lane to get around Tamer. Rand just shuffles that one away to the ice. Wanted to get off here. Icing called against the Penguins, and that'll bring it back.
You know, Mike, coming into this game, the Penguins had 82 power play chances in 17 games. Their opponents had 107. That's 25 more chances for the opponents than the Penguins have had. The Penguins were averaging 4.8 chances per game coming into this game tonight. That's the least number of power play chances in the National Hockey League.
I think there's one less, Nagy. I think there was one, because I saw that stat in the New York paper today. But nonetheless, you're right. I mean, it's still among the lowest chances of anybody.
Well, I got that from the Penguins PR man, Steve Bavino, who was working on the numbers. He may have been a little off on the averages, but
he's real. I mean, he's right there.
Yep.
I think it said they were talking about an article. I don't know if you read it in the Daily News, and it was they made reference to that fact that the Rangers had they were making reference to the fact the Penguins scored on a lower number of chances, and why can't the Ranger power play do it? And it brought up another team who was just slightly below that. I think it was New Jersey, actually. And Mateau centers it. Now I ruined your point of your
No, you didn't ruin it at all. I mean, the fact is the Penguins aren't getting nearly a number of power play chances as you think they would with the skill level that they have. And you wonder, and we've said this before, if they're being handicapped somewhat. It's hard to say. And I know one thing, they were averaging somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 or 8 power play chances very early in the season when they were talking about having new rule enforcement. But that's gone right out the window. I don't care what anybody says.
Francis put it on the net, and Richter very strong to make that save.
All he had to do was be at that game on Saturday night and watch the Capitals, and Friday night too, for that matter, to know that they've relaxed again on the obstruction stuff.
Messier, Kovalov on the right wing was offside.
Nevertheless, the Penguins are a +18, and that's in terms of the ratio between power play goals scored and power play goals allowed. That's coming into the game tonight. 31 for, 13 against. The next best team in that category is the Buffalo Sabres at +16. These Rangers coming in were -4. 18 goals for, 22 against on the special teams. There's Francis with a sneaky little wrist shot. Got away from Richter, but the Rangers were able to recover.
13:20 left here in the third. Well, this is the Penguins gave up 6 goals to the Colorado Rockies in a 6-6 tie. So this matches their high of the year in that category. Offside against the Penguins will be issued if the Penguins touch the puck. That's cleared away. The Rangers have. Boy, Messi is cruising right along, isn't he? Shoots that one on the net, and Barrasso kicked it away with the left leg.
Mario's got good jump in his legs here in the third period. I would expect that if Mario plays tomorrow night, and that's just, he's supposed to play. He will play. The only thing that could happen is something would happen. Maybe he'd be feeling sore or something after tonight's game. But I would expect him to come out flying tomorrow night in Pittsburgh.
Messier to Graves, and his slap shot partially deflected. Kovalev tried to wind it behind the net to Messier, and it's cut off by Smolinski. Under Ranger territory, and Richter very active with the puck. They find Messier. Tamer bangs it right back in. Messier looks to see where the puck was before he comes off. So conscious all the time defensively. Niedzig to the goal, and again it's Richter to deflect that one away from the cage.
Dave Roche got hurt, Mike, badly. I'll tell you, his left leg is really twisted around.
And Roche is in the corner.
He got a skate caught in a rut, and this is one of those things, folks, that if you don't want to see it, I would say turn away, because this was a bad fall by Dave Roche. He just destroyed his knee.
Yeah, Roche just simply
he
gave
tripped
out
over low, I think.
Yeah, his left leg went right into the boards.
He tried to spin away from Kevin Lowe and tripped right over him, and he went down awkwardly in the corner.
That skate appeared to go in full force, his leg right up against the boards.
It was the way he went down on it, too. It buckled underneath him right here. Now watch. See? Man, and then into the boards. You're right.
He actually may have hurt that knee before.
That's what I was thinking. See, see
the
way it turns there? Now he goes down and look, and then into the boards like that, and oh my goodness. I hate to even see it. This young guy is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. A real promising prospect for the Penguins, Dave Roche. And I have a feeling it's going to be a while before they're able to get him up and move him and get him off the ice.
Well, Roche is down. Mario Lemieux comes over to check, and they may have, I think they've summoned a stretcher here to be brought out for Dave Roche.
He's in some serious pain right now.
They brought a paramedic out. And Skip Thayer, the Pens trainer, is surveying what's going on. There comes the stretcher. It looked as though he twisted the knee, and now they help him to a skate, so that would lead me to believe that the leg is not broken, which is a good, well, I don't know, sometimes it's a good sign or not, but it appears to be a problem with his knee. And now they bring the stretcher out.
Well, you know, he's been compared quite a bit to Troy Loney, and Loney, a big guy like him, had knee problems early in his career, and you just hope that Dave Roche can recover from this and be back to 100%. Well, Kevin Lowe's in the box, and he doesn't deserve to be there. It was an accident, and it's almost like the officials think that they should call a penalty that they don't see. I don't understand. That's the second time we've seen that now in the last couple of weeks. The same thing happened in Los Angeles in the Talkett Roche incident.
This will be Jaromir Jagr. Penguins on the power play. Go to Francis. A wrist shot. Missed the net. Penguins back after it. McIver. Power play chance number 6 for the Penguins here in this game.
Dominic Skiana of Pittsburgh is our contestant on the American Airlines power play.
Each pulled away. Gave it away to Lemieux. Lemieux shoots it, and Richter the save again. Cleared by Messier. On now to the Penguins end. One of Mario Lemieux's greatest games ever came in this building. 5-goal effort against the New York Rangers. I used to think the Ranger fans aren't appreciative at times. The Rangers did not have a very good club that year, but they gave them a standing ovation at the end of the game. There's been a lot written about the Ranger fans and how miserable they can be, and they can be.
And they certainly were hard on Mario for years, and then all of a sudden he just won them over in one night.
View on the near side, going to Sandstrom. He backdoors it, comes off the pad of Richter. Presley pulls it in. Penguins now with 38 shots here against Mike Richter. And just 1 goal to show for it. 40 seconds to go on the Ranger penalty to Kevin Lowe. Interference was the call against Lowe. And here again is McIver. Pushing the puck down the right wing. Not into the Rangers end. Lemieux will try and carry it in, and he will. Going to Naslund. Looks left side. Here's Smolinski. And he missed the net. Feeds it over to Marcus Naslund to the pin. Left wing, Lemieux in front. A shot deflected in by the Penguins. Smolinski, who got his stick down, and the Penguins have made it 6-2. Lemieux just put it right on the edge of the crease for Brian Smolinski, his third. It's as though Richter stopped a shutout. They're responding that way, or he had a, they got the first goal against him. It's the second one. I think they're appreciative of the way he's played tonight too. It's a power play goal by the Penguins.
Naslund threw it across to Lemieux. He waited for Smolinski to arrive there at the post, and that was a nifty play by Smolinski to just put that stick down and steer that puck into the net the way he did.
Well, the Penguins are on the board again to make it 6-2. And the Rangers, Luc Robitaille worked it back into the Penguin zone. Ferraro hustles in against Francois Leroux, and Ferraro went down on that play. This is Joseph, the Penguin defenseman. Penguins can't make it happen. Ferraro again with command of it. Made into the corner. Verbeek runs into Joe Dietzick. Francois Leroux up through center. Hit Glenn Murray's stick? I don't think so. The Rangers play the puck, though, the goaltender, and that'll wave it off. No icing. 9:24 left here in the third. From between the circles, Bruce Driver guides it on the center. That's where the Penguins had it for a moment, but Ferraro gets it back. He does the smart play, just getting the puck into the Penguin zone. Rangers led 3-1 at the end of 1, 6-1 at the end of 2. Now have a 6-2 advantage here in the third. Hamer's pass is not going to get out of there. Nemchinov to Wayne Presley. Back to Nemchinov. He's been impressive tonight, Nemchinov.
So has the youngster Nordstrom. He played, or Sundstrom, I should say. He's played really well, Mike. The rookie, Nicholas Sundstrom.
Yager peels back to take the puck, and he's got a 3-on-3 coming back the other way with a trailer and Francis. Yager on now, giving the puck. Here's Fitzgerald shooting and scoring. It's 6-3. Now, hallelujah, Hollywood. Rusty Fitzgerald cuts it to a 3-goal lead with 8:28 to go, and do not go away.
And a little running wrist shot a la Mark Recchi there, or Mark Messier, who scored his 500th goal like that. And that patented Messier move where he kind of skips on his skates and rips one down the off wing. Yager took him wide, just dropped it back to Rusty, and this was a nice play right off the left skate and ripped it right on the stick side of Richter to the far post.
11:32 the time of the goal, and it is 6-3.
Did that not go underneath the pad of Richter? It looked the first time it went over the stick.
He used the defenseman, I think, as a screen here, low, and shot it between his legs and under his arm.
Yep, right under his arm.
Rusty scores a lot of goals. I saw him in a game and it was televised in the IHL. He had a hat trick and very similar type of goals. Now Kovalov coming back into the Penguins' end. Alexei Kovalov on the right wing boards. Francis and Yager on the assist. Here's Lemieux of the Penguins coming back and giving the puck to Marcus Naslund. Naslund can't get around Leach. Graves over to the corner behind the net to Mario Lemieux, and Messier stepped in to take it away from him. But the Penguins regain the puck. Naslund around to Lemieux. Lemieux in front, and he almost had that puck to Sandstrom, but it was just deflected in the last second. Messier fires it up on the center ice to Brian Leach. Drop pass to Graves. He shoots it, and that'll miss the target. Graves is upended by Chris Tamer. 6-3 Rangers. 7:35 left here in the third. Lemieux trying to get the puck, and he will get it now on a pass from Ian Moran. Floated left wing to Naslund. Go wide. No, he didn't. He went trying to go inside and lost the puck. He had a chance against Lister, I think, the speed, but he ran out of gas, too. He was late on the shift. Now one of the Rangers got hurt. Sandstrom and Ferraro have words. A penalty coming up here. Now Sandstrom is taken down by Graves, and Lemieux trying to get in there and separate those two. And apparently Sandstrom was a guilty party originally against Ferraro. Now we'll see if the Rangers get a penalty to even it up. Well, we'll find out what Rob Schick, the referee, has to say about this. 7:13 to go in period number 3. The New York Rangers lead 6-3 right here on Prime.
The Bukaboom got for boarding Ray Ferraro here, and he will go off. He hit Ferraro as they went towards the puck in the corner. It was from behind, from the side, sort of from behind. Nevertheless, it was from behind. He hit the glass with the boards. He didn't get cut or anything, but Sandstrom's gone. 5-minute major.
Ferraro on the right side. The Rangers have failed to score a power play goal in 3 chances tonight. Here's the puck ahead. The Penguins might get a chance shorthanded here. McIver streaking down the left wing, going to the net is Park. McIver shoots it, and he missed the goal. Round onto the neutral ice area. Moranov trying to stop the play. The Rangers have it. Robitaille in against Yager, and he pulls the trigger. That'll miss the net. At right point, the Rangers again gun it right back towards a goal. Deflected. Richard Park comes up with it. McIver wants off the ice. He's just going to have to slap it up the other way so he can get off. He looks to be exhausted. Norm McIver. Right back in behind the Ranger goal with 6:20 to go, and this major penalty to Thomas Sandstrom. Off for boarding. Ulf Samuelsson brings it on now, and he is taken off his skates along the near boards by Smolinski. Challenge for the puck in the corner, and LaRue handles it. Can he clear? He can't, but Fitzgerald will get a handle on it, and he clears it up ice. That's not Rusty's first NHL goal, by the way. He had one last year, in case you're wondering. So he doesn't have to buy a box of cigars. Let's save him that. Messier.
He still owes him one from last year.
And the Kovalev. Kovalev around to Messier, and Messier bank it back in behind. Kovalev centers it, comes in front. The Rangers Graves can't put it in. He was trying to muscle it out, and they can't. Messier from behind the net. Around to the far boards. Ulf Samuelsson, who works on the power play right now. He has some experience. He has played the power play with the Penguins and also with Hartford. Not a whole lot, but he has played on it. And chopped away, and Ulfie's going to watch Chris Wells come back 1-on-2 shorthanded. Right to the net off Richter, and it comes free. Wells is going to get it. Wells with a wrist shot, and he just missed on that shot. When he scores there, and the game really tightens up.
That long reach came into play there. He looked like he was a good. He was about 7 feet from the puck when he pulled the trigger. He's 6'6".
Ferraro again in after it. This is Robitaille. Uses his hips so well. Moran digging for it. Now Verbeek and Park have collided. Now Park gives Verbeek a shot in the back of the leg after he had hit him. Around to the left point and out of the zone. The Rangers have to regroup and get back on side. 2:20 to go in the penalty. Robitaille again being hit by Tamer. Comes over to Driver at the right point into the corner for Verbeek, and again he looks for the HT. Robitaille with the 3-point night. Putting in a pretty goal and a couple of assists. I think he wants to get off here if possible. Yager won't allow him to do it though as he plays the puck in. Park now can't hold on to it. And Robitaille on the Leach. Here they come back into the Penguins end. Leach with Robitaille going to the net. In front, Verbeek shooting and scoring. Pat Verbeek has the hat trick, and it's 7-3 Rangers. Verbeek is on fire. Man, that was just perfectly placed, it appeared, too, over the right shoulder of Barrasso. And again, not too much Tommy could do about it. It just was a perfectly placed shot.
Brian Leach is so dangerous on the power play, Mike, because he carries the puck in deep. He doesn't just play that point position. He likes to lug it down in deep, and he really takes that box out of whack. You see Park has to stay with him, and he threaded the puck between Tamer and Park right to Verbeek, who's then wide open, and he finishes it off for the hat trick. And that's what I like about Brian Leach. When they set up on the power play, in this case he came in on the rush, but even when they're set up, sometimes he'll just take that puck and take off with it down the boards, and it really plays havoc with the box and with your penalty killing strategy. And he got it to Verbeek, who just placed it perfectly to the upper left-hand corner on Tom Barrasso for the HT.
And the hats come out here at the Garden in New York as Pat Verbeek has scored 3 times. He now has 11 on the year. And he is a streak goal scorer, and when he gets the motor going, get out of the way, he can really fill the net. That's a power play goal.
Eddie Johnston acquired him from the New Jersey Devils when he was with the Hartford Whalers.
Now this penalty still has time left on it. It's a major penalty.
Yeah, we're on an American Airlines shorthanded challenge. And Myra Judd of Pittsburgh is our contestant.
Updating, Washington leading San Jose now 3-2 in the third. Toronto leads St. Louis 4-2 in the third. Philadelphia has built into a 5-2 lead over the Kings in period number 3. Florida goes ahead of New Jersey 4-3 in the third, and Winnipeg leads Boston at Boston 4-3 in period number 3.
Well, the Rangers are very much the way the Penguins are constructed, very much the way the Penguins have been constructed the last couple of years. A lot of players over the age of 30. I counted them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 by my count, and I think that's correct. Players 30 years old or older. It's the 10th hat trick of Pat Verbeek's career, by the way. Kevin Lowe is 36. Alfie's 31. Messier's 34. Nemchinov is 31. Wayne Presley is 30. Robitaille is 30. Ferraro is 31. Robitaille is going to be 30 in February. I'm not sure about Verbeek. Yeah, he's 31.
Yeah, he's got a niche in that category too.
He's one of the guys I included, but I just wasn't sure of his age. Well, they are an older team. They're going for it this year.
The Rangers lead 7-3. A steal, Kovalev into Pittsburgh ice, and his slap shot gloved by Barrasso. At the very last second, he has the puck for a faceoff.
And that was one of the things Ulf Samuelsson took into consideration when he wanted to go with the Rangers. He was under the impression at the time that he was traded that the Penguins were really going to go to a youth movement and pretty much in a rebuilding type of mode. I don't think it occurred to him at all, or very many people either, that the Penguins would get so much out of Mario Lemieux early in the year and be able to do what they have done with such a young team.
And this will be Messier going to Graves, and his shot off McIver's stick. Third around to the near side, and the Penguins trying to get a handle on it. Smolinski could not get it out. Kovalev on the right wing boards, back behind the net to Mark Messier. We've seen a whole lot of Ron Francis here in this third period in the 7-3 game. There's not too much reason really to play the big boys now because the game pretty well has been decided. We'll have to wait till tomorrow. This is Leach. Score. Another power play goal. 8-3 Rangers. Might have been touched by Messier. I'll tell you the guy I feel sorry for in a way, and yet he knows that can happen to you is Barrasso.
Right.
Tommy has not played that bad a game tonight. I mean, he really hasn't. The score will not reflect it. This will be another power play goal. That hit something on the way in. Messier changed directions on him, and he has no way of stopping it.
And Leach got all of it too, didn't he? That hit Messier's somebody's skate in front of the net.
8-3 Rangers, another power play goal, and here they come again. They're now 2 for 5, and that major penalty is still in effect. Shot from the right point, score again. Ferraro grabs it and puts it in. 3 power play goals on this major penalty. 9-3 Rangers.
And this will play havoc and just destroy the Penguins' penalty killing numbers, which were extremely impressive coming in.
You know what, though, Paul? I'd rather get them all out of the way in one game. And why not? If it's going to be like this, let it go.
Yep.
The last time the New York Rangers beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh was in '92, and they beat them 11-3.
I remember it well.
Yep.
Mark Messier had a tremendous night.
This is Ferraro who comes back. I told you he wouldn't. He could get back in that lineup against the Penguins. He always scores against them. We still await the goal number 8. Power play still in effect. 3 power play goals and a major penalty. It is rare you see that.
And now Ronnie's back on the ice.
Another shot deflected. Leach gets credit for that goal. Hit a Penguin player. Ferraro gets credit for the other one. And here come the Rangers. The penalty has 3 seconds left. Smolinski will come on, or Naslin will come on. He served the major penalty. The Rangers pound the cage 3 times on that major penalty. Yager on board to center, moving his way to the Rangers zone. That's going to be poked away to the near side, and Robitaille trying to get it out. He can't. Yager centers. They went all the way to the left side of McIver. Heavy slap shot. Score. The Penguins get on the board again. It's 9-4. McIver's big blast. Well, they scored a lot of goals tonight. That's for sure. I told you I thought it'd be a 6-5. I was right around the goals, but 13. We got 13 goals. 9 of them for the Rangers, though.
McIver just took it off the boards. He just one time hit a stick, two sticks on the way in. A Penguin stick, too. That was deflected in by one of the Penguins in front of the goal. Who was it? Rusty Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
He'll get his second goal of the game.
Fitzgerald gets goals 1 and 2. I'll tell you, they're scoring them so fast, there's not even time to write them down. The PA announcer, if the building will be empty by the time he finishes announcing all the goals. Nemchinov in the right wing. He looks to shoot it. Does. Barrasso gets a glove over stick and then took a shot at Sundstrom going by the cage. McIver gets credit for it.
Well, it's not his
It
goal.
hit something on the way.
Rusty got a stick on it.
There might be some changes on goals, folks, when this game is over, because they'll have to go back and take an official look at them. That puck out of action to the Penguin bench. 1:07 left. They give McIver the goal. For McIver, the Penguin blue liner, if in fact he does get credit for it, it'll be his first of the year. Yager's got a 3-point game tonight. Hockey Hotline coming up, and also tomorrow this game, the game between the Rangers and Penguins, will be on. And we've got 63 seconds left here in this one. Chris Joseph. And the Penguins will suffer their worst defeat of the year. If we didn't warn you, it might happen. It does to most teams. And it won't be the end of the world. It's not the end of the world to the other team when you beat them 9-1 too. Here comes Robitaille. And right wing to Verbeek in front. Deflected. Barrasso stops that.
And tomorrow's another day.
No, the good thing about it is they'll play within less than 24 hours.
That's right. You don't have to think about it.
Not at all.
Long. And not only that, you get to play the team that thrashed you. You get to come back against them and see what you can do. Penguins, I'm sure, will show that they're a resilient team tomorrow night at the Civic Arena, and I would bet the Penguin fans will be into it too, because now you realize you got yourself a pretty good hockey game on your hands, something to shoot for.
And this is Ulf Samuelsson, 9 seconds left. Ulfie will be smiling like a butcher's dog tonight. Time's going to run out. That's it. Richter gets the victory. The Rangers win. And the Penguins lose here in New York. And they all file out. Our biggest concern right now is the condition of Dave Roche. And I don't think we'll have an update for you before.